Welcome back to my channel. This is the third video in my How to Aim series. My name is Carnage and I am a gamer by heart who has played most of his life on Android devices playing mobile games. And just about a month back, I bought my first gaming PC. And soon I realized after playing some Valorant that watching Valorant played by esports athletes and having passion for the game just simply doesn't translate into a better gameplay experience and performance. And for building up that muscle and mind connection, very specific to operate keyboard and mouse while playing any FPS title, it's paramount. As I have also started streaming on Twitch, which is my second passion, I decided why not let's document this whole journey. And this video marks a whole month of me practicing my aim via aimlabs, PS2 and Valorant. If you haven't watched the previous videos in this aim training journey, then there were a few experiences that I had while going through it, and there were a few changes that I made based on those experiences. Moving to this video, first let's recap all those points that I've learned and made changes to my aiming. First point, the very first thing that I realized: to improve your aimlabs scores or improve your aim as a whole, having speed is important, but speed in front of having precision is less important. And for precision, calm aim is very important. Instead of those all flashy, flicky aim shots or reels or TikToks that you have watched, I suggest and I applied myself to practice more of calm aim than trying to do some flashy stuff. The second point I think major of FPS players would already know, that having aim training periodically simply never converts to better performance in game. Instead, repeatedly playing the game and being accustomed with the head level, acquiring better movement and game sense, and having restraint in game when it's needed will further improve your results in game instead of just practicing and grinding in any third-party aim improving software. So in my previous video, as I've already mentioned, that I started playing more of Counter-Strike and more of Valorant, and to compensate, I reduced the number of attempts that I used to take on each and every exercise in aimlabs, which usually I started from doing 5 attempts of each exercise back to only 3 attempts of each exercise every day. The last change that I did was in my grip. When I started a month back, the grip that I used to have was a mix of a palm and a claw. But in the last video, I have properly explained how I shifted a bit more towards the claw side of the style of gripping my mouse. I have properly explained, but after that, I modified my grip further. Now I would say it's more closer to somewhat being a claw grip rather than being a palm grip. These were the 3 points that I mentioned in past videos. And so now moving over to the next 15 days of aim training that I did. And here is the list of my first day's score, my best day's score, and my last day's score. The fun fact is that out of all these exercises in my daily aim training routine, only Spider Shot Precision is the one in which my personal best was before 24 Jan. 24 Jan being the date which was the last day in my second week of aim training. After that day, every scores have been documented in this video, and all the changes that I made and I have shared in this video resulted me having my personal best in all those exercises in the second half of the month of this aim training journey. Further, adding to my personal best in aimlabs exercises, I also peaked in Valorant with my current aim being Silver 1. Initially, when I started playing Valorant back in 2020, I peaked at Bronze 2, which actually was my opening rank this season. And since then, I have been in Silver 1. And I think I would give the credit to improved hardware and my aim training, both of these, for me staying in Silver 1, and if I improve further. So now let's discuss all the changes that I made. The first change, the first realization I had, that my aim still felt very jittery in Valorant and CS2 both. I realized while clicking my left mouse button, my crosshair would move away from the head that I have aimed initially. So I decided to add some weights to my mouse. As you know, the Logitech G502 comes with some additional weights that you can add on the back of your mouse to make it more heavy, each weight being around 0.36 grams. I initially added 2 of such weights to my mouse, and I practiced with the mouse. I played few games and I found that 2 weights added to my mouse was very heavy and it was very difficult to move the mouse. And then I reduced it back to 1 weight, and initially I felt the jitter in my aim gone, but also my arms, my wrists and muscles of my hand were getting exhausted very easily. Also, I was experiencing some cramps while playing for longer hours, and I realized that health of my wrist is far more important. And why not? I don't know why, but that time it felt that it's not the right thing to do and it's not the solution to my problem. So I thought for a while, and then I realized to have a stable aim, to have my mouse being stable while I aim, instead of adding weights, why not just reduce my DPI and try? Initially, I had set my DPI of the mouse to 1000. I reduced it to 800 and kept all of my sensitivities as they were in CS and Valorant. And that was the game-changing decision I made. Since I changed my DPI to 800, my jitter in my aim improved a lot. The changing of the DPI worked as a wonder drug from my stagnant score disease. This here is the original chart where I used to document my scores. As you can see, the personal best of 74k on Spider Shot speed was just after I changed my DPI, mid-aim training routine of the day. That especially on the 31st of the January. Also, that day I have an average of 5.5k points increment in all of my scores in all exercises from the previous day. Second point, being an idiot, there was a realization that I had in the first video that I shared with you all guys. The realization that I should change my crosshair in aimlabs to the one that I use in CS2 and Valo. But my lazy ass didn't do it until the very last of aim training of this day of this month. Changing my crosshair on the very last day of this month at an average increase of 2k points from the day before, with my personal best in microshot speed and second best in spider shot speed. And the third and the last point, that itself is a reconfirmation to what I said in my previous video, that in-game training and playing more of matches improved my performance. Peaked my rank in Valo, as I have already mentioned. I've won few TDMs. Initially, I would be in the bottom of the table, but since I have made these changes, my performance in TDMs have improved. I've been MVP in few of my ranked games. I have acquired few aces, 2 to be precise. I have made various clutches, and I think it's a considerable improvement, and I think I'm somewhat satisfied of this aim training journey of myself. Now, conclusion. The conclusion of my 1 month aim training is that training from a third party aim software helps. And I think especially any person who is starting to play games, especially you have changed your hardware, you have changed your mode of aiming, I think taking help of some free third party aiming software is going to help you, not harm you in any way. The second conclusion that I had is muscle mind connection ain't a myth. I have not established a full muscle mind connection. I still, while playing Valorant, sometimes get conscious about my grip, get conscious about my mouse placement, and that hampers my gameplay, that hampers my in-game presence. But eventually, some of muscle mind connection has been established, and when you get into that state of flow in game, then my movement improves, my aiming improves, my recoil control improves, and at the end of the round, my performance improves. So I think playing as much as you can and will eventually help and improve your aim passively, added to the active aim improvement that you do by training your aim or being well aware of your game and practicing agents. Third conclusion, in-game practice is a must. And further, I would add that if you don't have time to do training in aimlabs or any third-party software, and with that also train your aim in-game and play the game, I think you should practice in-game and you should play the game, because at the end of the day we play game for fun. And if you just keep training your aim in any third-party software or in the game that you love, and if you won't get the time to play, then it will become like any activity that you do in real life, and it will become dry, it will become lack of fun, and then you will eventually leave it. And I think anybody would not want that, and I would not suggest anybody to do that. If you don't have time, play the game and choose any one of those. And if you would like my suggestion, I would suggest go for the in-game training, because it will help you further accustom with the game, the graphics, the movement, and the gameplay, the sounds, everything, and it will further be better than playing games and training in third-party software. And honestly, I would just say that it's my conclusion. Everybody is free to do. If you have any, if you don't agree, comment down below. But why do you disagree with my advice? And I think everybody should have their opinions, and I would not force it, but it's just my suggestion. Fourth conclusion that I had, and I have already spoke about, is that calm aim is very important. You want to be flashy, you want to be flicky, you want to be super precise, but also look very good while doing it. It will start from a slow, calm aiming journey. You have to focus on your target. You have to be calm when you move your mouse, and eventually, when you will become accustomed with calm aiming, your speed will slowly increase. And I believe for myself and everybody out there who believes in this fact, and if keeps trying, there will be a day that calm, precise aiming will lead you to having a flashy, flicky aim. Not that having a flashy, flicky aim is paramount and very important, and everybody should have a flashy or flicky aim. But I think if you want to become a top 10% or top 20% of gamers in a specific game, or the games that you love, especially being an FPS title, you have to reach that level of athleticism, and I think you will achieve it if you keep doing this, as I also believe for myself. Fifth point that I want to talk about that I concluded is that general health and proper sleep is very important. You need to have concentration. You have to be healthy. You have to be well slept for your body to have good coordination and reflexes. And there were many days where I had a very bad performance in aimlabs as well in game, because the prior night I didn't sleep well. Also, there were many times when in night, while having late night gaming sessions, I was feeling sleepy, and shots, the movements, the reactions that I generally have or generally elicit, I lacked those just because I was not up to my mark. I was not on my 100% because I was feeling sleepy. So yeah, have proper sleep, take care of your health, and I definitely believe that it will, if not help improve your aiming and gaming, it will not deteriorate it further. Sixth point that I concluded at is that playing casually playing casually in comparison to concentrating in your game and having full focus drastically improves the results. And if you are going to play some competitive or ranked, I would suggest that instead of just slouching on your chair, be a little attentive, focus on the game, stop any music or any videos in the background, and I think it helped me, my performance improved, and I think it would help you as well. The final conclusion that I had is that finding your personal settings based on repetitive trials in game and in aimlabs or any aim training software and tinkering with it is a must. Generally, people say that you should not always change your crosshair, you should not always change your sensitivity. I think it's true. It's true for a person who has established in game, who has established his sensitivity and has been playing for a year or two. But if you are new, I think find a benchmark from where to start, and on that benchmark, keep playing the game, keep doing aim training, and decide whether you are over flicking, under flicking, how is your movement, how what happens to you when there is some urgent situation in game, how do you react, and how your aim falters during those situations. And then you will realize that what should be done, and tinker it around that, and eventually you will find a setting in which you will feel very comfortable. You will find that the mouse is not a hardware but just an extension of your arm itself. And if you have been playing, then I would suggest that keep the sensitivity that you already use and start working on it. But anybody who has just started like me, I would suggest the thing that I did: go to prosettings.net, scan for what the most pro players use, because they are the best in the game, and what they do is not 100% right for you, but it's not going to be very wrong for anyone. And then set it as a benchmark and work on it. That's what I did. I took the sensitivity of the pro players and the DPI. Eventually I realized that I have to reduce my DPI. I reduced my DPI. I kept those sensors as they were, or I did a minute change in them. And at the current time, I am not 100% satisfied with my sensitivity, but I don't think I will be changing it recently because it's helping me to establish that muscle mind connection that I was talking about. So yeah, these were all the conclusions that I had in my 1 month of aim training journey. Now future. For the future, I will be continuing with my daily aim training, but I will be reducing the number of exercises that I used to do. I will be playing Valorant and CS2 off and on. I will add hardbot training in the Valorant training grounds. I will also add recoil control training both in Valo and CS, because I think the one thing that I definitely need to improve is the recoil, the first 10 or 12 bullets recoil control. The another thing that I realized playing CS, that throwables in CS work very different to what they do in Valorant or any other games, and I need to learn that also. In future, if you want me to make an updated video of what is the current routine that I have been following, leave a like. If I get 5 likes, then I will come with the updated video as soon as possible. Else, I will be updating my progress periodically as I have been doing. If you don't want to miss on those, then subscribe. If you want to closely follow my journey, to help me, drop by my Twitch streams at ENJ_Carnage, where I stream mostly Valo, but I'm open to different FPS titles, different game genres, and fun ideas. Till then, peace.